I love my enemies, bring out the best of me. I think of everything I'd like to say.
Hello, welcome to Kapow Toys Presents. I'm your host King Grimlock, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Protector Armour and the Sidearm, the latest additions from the Fans Project collection. The kit that upgrades your classics Hot Rod Rodimus, your Henke Rodimus, or your Challenge at Cybertron or Battle in Space Rodimus to Rodimus Prime, the big ass trailer kit that Fans Project have been promising for a couple of years. And here we go. There it is. That is Rodimus in his new form. Let's just move Sidearm out of the way. Sidearm is Firebolt, his target master partner, if you wondered. There he is in his full form, and it's very nicely done. I love these extra panels that they've put in, and the fact that it all ties in, the wheels all fit in and everything to the actual figure. It does feel maybe that this could have gone back slightly further. The nose it feels like it sticks out a bit too far, because it does feel like the car goes up to that point, rather than as it should, up to about there. I love this pipe work down the side, the fact they've put the flames up the side into the design, really nicely done. And the fact that it links in, it's a nice aesthetic touch. And there are parts all over it like that as well. The armour, the trailer itself is a really well constructed and sizable piece of kit. The Sidearm, if you're wondering, Sidearm comes with the same parts as go on the front here, but chromed. So if you have the Henke edition, it does all tie in. Looking at the colour scheme and everything, this all seems to fit quite nicely to both of them. It isn't really a you have to have one or another. But here we go, there's the underside, anybody interested on the underside of it. It all just slots in quite nicely. Now the only thing that actually holds it into place is the tail fin. That's the only thing that actually holds it into place. There's nothing else that clips it in. And it does feel fairly secure, actually. It's not too bad. You wouldn't go swinging it around by it, but it's not too bad at all. Also, you have the room to put the exhaust in, which is a really, really nice touch. Now, this has many different modes, really, to be able to create a complete thing. Now, this is a fan mode. This is one I'm kind of liking right now. If we just fold and just remove Rodimus for this moment. Undo that. Now, the trailer comes in a couple of modes, as I said. Yeah, the trailer comes in a couple of modes when you convert it, because it's the same thing as Rodimus himself had when we were G1ers back in G1 days. Rodimus had obviously his trailer, which then converted into the attack base. Now, this is my personal favourite way of doing this. Is if you take Sidearm, it's just a shame you can't transform him into this without taking the Rodimus off. And it's a shame you can't. I'll show you what I mean when I get there. If we put that up, you can then. So this is a bit of a fan mode. Tuck his legs out the way. Just trash the thing. Do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Me being ham-fisted rather than anything. Slide him in there like so. Like so. There we go. Okay. Finally we get there, and you have sort of this assault attack battery out the back of it, and what's really would have been nice is because you can fold that down, and you can close that up. You can almost have him hidden in the back, driving along. So it'd be nice if you could just poke him down, have that fold up. Oh, it's fanny, but fan. Interesting. Have that fold open, and sort of like as if someone was in pursuit, Sidearm could pop up in the back with the cannons, and as they're blasting along, just and clear it out. It's a fan mode, I know, but there we go. That's just, you know, it's nice to have these little playable things to it, because when we get into the actual tank stroke battle station modes, just remove Hot Rod for the minute, and I'll go through the taking apart of this, I think. When we get into those modes, you almost feel like they're all additional added things rather than anything definite. Now, as you've seen there, I've just clipped that bit off twice. Things do catch. It's not as neat and tidy as the City Commander armour, which is a real shame, actually. And I'll be honest, I'm not as big a fan of this entire kit as I am of the City Commander armour. Right, let's start taking this guy apart, shall we? The front of it comes off, as then do, we'll open up the sides, as then do the two bits that I've been clicking off all the way through. If you can work out what they are, you don't get a prize. You then, can open up the back, and the side panels, the back wheels, flip out. There we are. They're nicely tough and fitted in. You can then try and keep it on camera, Matt. Take out sidearm, out the weaponry. Rotate that panel down. You get your roller drone, which I wasn't wanting to expose until now. Put him thusly. This has been a bit of a mess, hasn't it? I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, there we go. Move another set of panels from either side. Put those panels back in. Panel up. There's a little seat that goes down in underneath. I'm sure you've seen better videos of this, of everything fitting together. Sidearm stands in there, and you have the tank mode. Yeah, okay. I don't think I need to say anything really. It's not worth talking about because it's not really worth existing, I'm afraid to say. It's not bad, but it's really not good either. So let's take sidearm. Last time we'll see him for a while, and start putting it into battle station mode. Now at this point, this comes out. Oh, another part. Now this is battle station mode, and this is where we can show roller for the first time. Let's move the battle station parts out of the way for a minute. There we are. It's basically the same roller that is based on the same idea as Optimus Prime's roller from Generation 1, and it's got a couple of really nice things. You've got a 5mm and a 4mm clip system on the port at the back, which means that you can, if you so wish, either put in, if I get the right one, doesn't it? The hot rod weapon, or, let's move that out of the way for a moment, or convert him into his target master mode, thusly. You can have it. Sidearm in there, which is a really nice touch. And also, you can store the exhaust launch missile in there as well. Because that's the, does have to put the right way up, I guess. Yeah. Because that's the thing with it. This is really nicely done by Fans Project. Is everything has a place to hide. Everything except for the henky bits, unfortunately. You can't have a too lot of storage in there. So that's part one of your battle station mode. Part two comes in here. Now, yes. No, yes. That folds back up, and then the whole thing slots down. Can rotate that back down. Then there are two blast shield panels which fold out thusly. Nothing changes at the top as such, except there are two handles at the back. There we go. One on that side and one that side. And there's the battle station mode, which is, you know, reminiscent, or supposedly reminiscent, of the G1 battle station. If I can just up thusly. And there you have basically the battle station mode, the two parts of it, if you were using every part of the figure. This isn't too bad at all. It looks nice, it looks solid, it looks like a decent gun platform, and I do like the inclusion of a roller. It's completely unnecessary, but it's a nice thing to do to be able to give the tank mode a bit more character to it as well, and also to have storage for those parts. Now, let's do this. Let's do this. Quickly transform him out. We all know how he transforms, don't we? So let's just... Now, anyone who follows me on Twitter will know that I was somewhat disappointed by this figure. I don't think there's any denying, actually, that I was. And when I first opened it and first transformed it, I was actually very disappointed with this figure. My feelings haven't changed, unfortunately, that much. But a lot of that is actually due to the quality of my hot rod, which is schlocky at best. So before I make my final judgment, that's the mode you need to, the form you need to get him in. Before I make my final judgment on this armour as an entire set, or the quality thereof, I'm going to have to get myself another hot rod, I'm afraid to say, because I can't do a fair decision on this one because my hips are loose and things like that. So there we go, that's what you need to get him in. Now, first things first, weaponry. This big part, if you put it in that way, there we go. But a little bit something else, pops that back out, if I can remember which way it goes. There's a handle anyway, there's a handle here. There we go. That fits on Protector's arm, hand. Now if you have it that way, or the other way up, these bits get in the way. So you have to have it that way. Actually, it's best to have it if you can have it. Which is a bit of a shame, but it's not that bad. That's Rodimus's gun. That also will clip onto roller. So let's get that out of the way for the moment. The leg panels, right. Fold in half, panel down, rotate round, clip up. And there's one part of his leg. And the same for the other one. It's all very intuitive. This is only the second time I've done it. So it gives you an idea of just how easy it is to do. And that's his arm. It really is just that simple. It's actually probably simpler than the Magnus kit to get nailed on, as it were. And all these joints feel really solid. That's one thing. All the joints on the actual figure feel really solid. The problem comes when you start trying to implement the parts onto Rodimus himself. And these bits also come in use. Now, here we go. This all clips, or this on my version, all clips together nicely. Now, I've heard rumour that people are having problems with clipping this over the wheel arch, or clipping this on, because one of the clips... I think the main problem is that the clip system that they're using is based on purely friction. So if the clips on the parts aren't tight enough to the robot, or to Rodimus, then you're going to have a problem, basically. And that's where mine comes in. Now, just put those back in, lift that back up for the moment. Because this leg area is held on by a tiny clip at the back there. Try and keep it on camera in focus. And you put the wheel in and then that's basically it. Now, I can't get these to stay. I cannot get these to stay on. And it's really, really, really annoying. There we go. But they just will not. Oh. There we go. That has been my biggest bugbear with this thing, is the legs. I cannot get the legs to clip firmly into place, so firmly that I actually trust to use it. That's been bugbear number one. Chest clips on the underside of the crotch. Fold up, this is lovely. This clips into place, and then the flames lift out of the chest area. Really nice touch. Really nice touch. And then the wings just slide over the existing ones. And finally, the head just pops on there. And there's various things you can do with him now. There's various positions you can have, and there's various sort of ways you can have him. You can have him by himself. Obviously you've got sidearm, which will also fit into his hand. And you can have him manning the battle armour. But I'm actually enjoying it more now I'm reviewing it. Initially when I did it, I wasn't too keen on it. I find too many problems with the actual figure. As I say, the legs won't stay on, the head doesn't sit flush in, and you can see the original Rodimus' chin underneath it, and people are saying, oh, it's the Adam's apple, it's his throat and everything. It just doesn't look right. These panels on the back don't fit snugly, they don't slide in beautifully. They just sort of sit on top, and they are noticeably different as well. They look like a noticeably added on part. That said, he does look really good. I mean, he actually looks a lot nicer on camera than he does in person in my eyes. The parts fit nicely together, and it is just a nice quality piece. But overall, it's not a bad kit. It's nowhere near in the league of the Munitioner and Explorer or the City Commander. In fact, I would say for the money, it's actually a disappointment. It doesn't look bad, but I shouldn't be saying I really need to get another original figure to fit into my third-party figure, and I shouldn't also be looking forward to a third-party company creating a better head for him, because this is just, it's really disappointing. It doesn't feel right at all. Something that fit over better, just clip into place, would be really, really good. And I shouldn't be feeling that from Fans Project. I actually think this is possibly their weakest release so far. And part of that is down to the fact that it doesn't clip onto my Rodimus, you know, neatly, tidily, but I think you're also left with a lot of leftover with roller and nice additions, a battle station, nice addition, but it's leftover, it's additional plastic that maybe didn't need to exist. And I think that's where my biggest bugbear is, the fact that there is just so much there, but so little actually upgrades him. Anyway, that has been me, King Grimlock, with the Protector Armour and Sidearm. I would say overall mildly disappointed, but if you're a Rodimus fan, I'd pick one up and spend the time to possibly tighten up joints and things like that, because you're never going to be. It's not a bad quality. It's quality superb. Design idea is brilliant. It's just not been implemented as brilliantly as I'd hoped. I am moderately disappointed, not quite disappointed. I'm more pleased now that I've had a good fiddle with it for the review. But overall, it's not up there with the City Commander for me. Anyway, I have been King Grimlock. This has been Fans Project Protector and Sidearm, and we will see you.